Hi, it's Brendan here from E-Yachts in Western Australia. I just wanted to go through with you the installation, or recent installation, of a stress-free anchor winch on a Axopar 28. The installation was put together by Morse Code Marine, who are based in Fremantle at Blue HQ. It's the first of the installations we've done with the stress-free in Western Australia, and I think Ben from Morse Code Marine has done a fantastic job. Let me go through it with you. One fantastic thing about an Axopar boat is you get terrific space in your anchor locker, and the Axopar is absolutely no exception. And what that means is you can actually get a roller style anchor winch in there, whereas most standard monohulls with a standard pointy bow, there's not enough room in there to fit this style of stress-free or a drum style anchor winch. The beauty of the drum style anchor winch is that they are stress-free. As the name says, and there's a few companies that do it, stress-free have probably been around the longest, but it's a great name because it just does make anchoring so much easier. The boys that own this boat, they're surfers. They'll scream over to Rottnest at 40 knots in any conditions apparently. They'll go out to the back of Strickland's and go surfing. So they'll be dropping the anchor in 10 metres of water. They want to be able to do that quickly with a stress-free, with a free fall button. You can drop that anchor, chain and rope out very, very quickly instead of waiting for the motor to slowly winch it down like we do on most boats. So it's a great attribute with this system. So here on the dash we have the standard stress-free control panel. Now it's located in the centre of the dash on the Axopar 28 cabin version. One, because it's an easy spot to put it, but also it makes sense because this way the captain can actually access it and your deckhand if need be. So two operations with this system. You've got your obvious up and down, which winches, the winch actually releases the chain and rod out, and it also winches it back up obviously. But the trick is with the free fall, here situated on this side, you press the free fall button and it basically detaches the gearbox from the reel, the drum, and just runs the chain and rope out with the anchor on it. So instead of waiting for the motor to drive it down, it just free falls literally. But the smart thing with the stress free is it doesn't actually free fall to the point of creating a bird's nest on the drum. So as soon as the weight's off as soon as the anchor hits the bottom and the weight's off the drum, it sort of locks into position so that it doesn't keep spooling out and creating a big mess in your anchor locker. Pretty smart. Yep. The other thing to note is that there's a trip switch here. So if the windlass, the stress-free winch gets jammed up or overloaded at all, this circuit breaker will trip, and you can tell when it's tripped because this little yellow lever drops out. So if you see that, it cuts power to the actual motor, so it won't work. So if this is ever out and the windlass isn't working for some reason, just check that, pop it back in, and away you go again, hopefully. There's a few tricky things to be aware of with the Axopar. Having a plumb bow, or an axe bow we call it, it means that the fair lead, the anchor roller and fair lead, has to protrude out a little bit past the bow more than you normally would on a standard monohull. Because of that axe bow, you need to make sure that the anchor, when it's lowering and raising, it clears that plumb bow. So what we've done, we've taken an off-the-shelf stainless steel fair lead and we've modified that. We've extended it out about 80mm in this case, and that has really done the job. It's taken the anchor right out. We've also manufactured a special nylon bow roller, and that also gives us extra distance beyond the end of the fair lead. With this installation, we've chosen to go for a Vulcan Rockner anchor. One, because they look really good, but also they are a very good anchor. They have fantastic holding power. We've also chosen to put a stainless steel swivel on, and the most important thing for when you're cruising around, there's a safety lanyard on here. So you never rely on your anchor winch holding your anchor up here. If you're cruising along at 30 or 40 knots and this is all bouncing around, you want to make sure that if this does come loose by chance, you've got an extra backup. So that's it there. So the boys at Morse Code Marine have also installed this roller, and they've had to modify this so they can get the roller up higher than this bit of fiberglass here, so that the chain doesn't rub on the deck here or the glass. And they've also put this little custom stainless steel pad here, I guess, rubbing pad, if necessary. Very neat installation. They've done a fantastic job, as I say. So now all we need to do is disconnect the little safety lanyard. There we go. Now this is crucial. Whenever you're going from A to B and you don't have your anchor down, you must always put on your safety lanyard. Otherwise you could end up running over your anchor and chain, and that would be diabolical. And the boys are so clever, they've even got a little saddle here to hook up the safety lanyard so it doesn't get hooked up in your spool. Okay, and we're ready to go.